Well, hello, hello. This is Odd Job Entertainment, bringing you another video. And today, we've got the final day of coverage for IAE 2952. And we are finishing with the brand RSI. And if you are in the org or you've been paying attention to my videos, you'll know that I purchased a RSI Scorpius. So this is actually an excuse for me to get that out and fly that around, which I'm pretty happy about. The RSI Scorpius is a fantastic medium fighter. And sorry, I'm just juggling my screens around. There we go. I've got chat visible. Now I can get everything loaded up. RSI Scorpius, 4 size 3 guns, or 4 size 3 hardpoints accessible to the pilot. It comes equipped with 4 size 2 guns by default on gimbals, but you can size those up for size 3 fixed guns and deal out a ton of firepower. It also has a turret with 4 size 3 guns on it as well. So you're basically got a hammerhead turret on the top, and that when you've got a fully crewed Scorpius, there's really not anything that you can't kill. It is a very competent fighter, very maneuverable, decent loadout of missiles. It's just really good. And RSI also has ships like the Constellation, the Polaris, the Perseus in its lineup, as well as the RSI Mantis. I'm trying to think what else. I think that might be... Oh, and of course, the Auroras. Who can forget the Auroras? So we're going to be taking a look at all of those today at the Expo Hall. And now that the game is somewhat loaded, I can show you what I'm looking at. So let's get rid of the main screen and just focus on the game screen. All right, and I'm going to hop in. Looks like Lance Vader's on, so I'm going to sneak into his server. So this week was Thanksgiving, and I want to know what you're thankful for. I talked about it in my last stream a little bit. I am extremely grateful for my community. I've been working to build this for a very long time, but my efforts are being rewarded far and away what I expected this year, and I'm really grateful for all of the support and positivity that I've gotten. I really like making these videos. I do it as a hobby, something to do in my free time, and that people are enjoying it more and more is really inspiring for me. So I'm thankful for that. I'm also thankful for my family, and if you are playing Star Citizen with me, you're part of my family. So happy to have you. And yeah, let me know what you're thankful for in the comments. I do read the comments, and I'll be sure to be responding to any that are left down below. This past year has been kind of tough, so I think it's important to take a minute to reflect and think about some of the good things, some of the things that we do still have to be thankful for, because I do think that there are still a lot. Let's get rid of that. Let's send Lance Vader a party invite. And let's send one to Schlag as well. Oh my gosh, please let me get out of bed. Hello, hello.
Hello, hello.
So, how is the renting process on this server? Is it working?
I just got on myself.
Okay.
I'm taking off from Port Tressler right now, and we're gonna find out.
All right. Well, I'll keep you posted. I'm here at New Babbage, so I might be able to. Well, yes, I will certainly get there before you do.
Yeah.
On the bright side, as long as all we want to test is the Scorpius, I actually own one of those, so it's not the end of the world if we can't rent it.
Yeah.
But we would be missing out on all the other RSI ships.
Like the Mantis. I've got a Constellation that I bought with in-game money, so
okay,
we can test that. And what else would we even want to test? RSI. I've got an Aurora.
Yeah, I mean the Auroras are really important ships, but I think we've kind of shown everything that starter ships can do.
And it can be fun to take out an Aurora LN and just see how far you can go with that, right?
Yeah. I think getting into some multi-crew scuffles in a Constellation and Scorpius, I think that's the peak content we're going to get today.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
That is until some certain ships are put into game that are also from RSI that I may or may not have jumped on and purchased today.
Oh.
Yeah. I am now... Sorry?
Is that so?
It is so. I am now the proud owner of a Drake cutter that identifies as an RSI Galaxy.
Well,
so,
great.
Yeah.
Drake cutter, huh?
Yep. So it's kind of interesting how it works out, but Schlag was kind enough to take some time out of his day to guide me through the CCU chain process. And we did. We started from a Drake cutter with lifetime insurance and worked all the way up to a RSI Galaxy.
Cool.
And when you look at it in your hangar, it says Drake cutter, standalone ship, lifetime insurance, contains RSI Galaxy.
Yes. Yes, I suppose I can say I have an Avenger that identifies as a Cutlass.
Ah, there you go.
In the same school of thought there.
Yeah, kind of interesting how that works.
Yeah.
Coincidentally, is there an RSI shirt? Now that I think about it, these shirts are actually the fastest way to find out if buying on a server works, huh?
Yeah, that's probably it.
If you can buy a shirt, you're good.
You can probably rent a vehicle.
All right, and I do have my RSI shirt now, so I think we might be set.
Great. I'm gonna actually. I'll be back in just a moment.
Okay. What gun is that? Oh, it's the GP-33 grenade launcher. That's a cool skin for it, though. It's got this like copper. Just checking out your gun, dude. Looks sweet. So I'm down in the Zenith Hall. Okay, Zenith is going to be the MISC ships. Which, you know, I didn't check these out yesterday, so I may as well give a brief tour. I have to admit, I am a little biased. MISC is not my favorite brand. I'm not going to get in the Starfarer because that is a maze that you could not pay me enough to figure out that tangled mess. But MISC does have some really useful ships, like the Prospector, which is a single-seater mining ship. And you'll notice that a common theme with all of the MISC ships is this kind of bulbous, curvy design aesthetic to them, which it's for some people, but I'm not one of them. The Hull A is actually a very exciting ship because of the technology involved in it. It is part of it's part of a series of 5. Hull A is the smallest, Hull E being the largest that has currently been announced. And these have cargo capacities that will completely upset the cargo carrying mechanic in-game. Hull A, not so much, because it is kind of a smaller boy. Let's see. Does it have...
All right, I'm back. Are you showing everybody the MISC ships right now?
Yeah, I didn't check these out, and the astute viewer will notice that I was not on stream yesterday, and I skipped day 7 to day 9. So just showing these a little bit. I was talking about how the Hull A is exciting mostly because of the tech involved in it.
Yeah, it's a transforming ship.
Yeah,
and when it has cargo, it's a totally different form from when you just fly around normal.
Yeah, so this back section that you see here will extend outwards towards the back, and then it has a cargo grid that expands to take on the actual SCU units. So despite its small size, it can carry a deceptively large amount of cargo, and it increases exponentially as you move up along the Hull series.
Yes, it is, in my opinion, the closest competitors to the Hull A are actually the Nomad and the Cutlass, because it has it's a very small ship like the Nomad, like the Cutlass. It's about the same size as those, and it carries lots of cargo for such a small ship. It is one of the smallest dedicated freighters you can have. I think that the Nomad is the absolute smallest that you can have as a dedicated freighter for hauling cargo. It has 24 SCU of cargo space. The Hull A, I think, has something like 32 or 35. It's not that much more, and it's not that much bigger of a ship. Yeah. So it is an entry level cargo hauler. It doesn't have nearly the versatility of the Cutlass, but its price point is lower than the Cutlass. So that's like the upgrade. If you wanted a similar size freighter with more versatility, then you would go with the Cutlass. If you wanted, an even smaller price tag, you'd go with the Nomad.
Yeah, and it does make a pretty good argument in that price to performance when you're looking at cargo capacity.
Yeah.
And correct me if I'm wrong, I think the Hull C is the largest in the Hull series that will still be capable of planetary landings. While loaded, is that correct?
I do not know if that's correct. I know that there are 2 larger ships in the Hull series, but I know that the Hull E for sure will not be capable of making planetary landings. Yeah. Or at least it's not intended to be landed at any planet. It will not fit in any hangar.
Yeah, and to put that in perspective, the largest cargo hold right now is the C2 Hercules, which is 696.
Yes.
And the Hull E is something like 46,000 SCU of cargo.
It's just an obscene amount of cargo.
Yeah, like, at this current moment in the game, I don't think that there is a station that can provide that high of quantity for any single commodity.
No, you'd have to run like everything out of every commodity and then start selling it all.
Yeah. So
you couldn't sell it because right now you can't sell most commodities that are planet-side commodities at the space stations.
Yeah. So I think that speaks to the scale that they're going to be going for with future iterations of the cargo trader mechanics. Keeping in line with the transforming ship theme, we do have the Reliant series, and these are kind of starter ships. They are at the lower ballpark for prices with all the Star Citizen ships, so they do kind of compete in that starter ship space. But you do have 2 seats, a pilot and a co-pilot. This, I believe, is the Mako is the news ship, right? So this one
Yes, that's
has
correct.
a
Mako is effectively a news van. It's
yeah.
got a pilot seat, it's got a co-pilot seat, and it has a third seat for like a media editor or cameraman. We're not sure what that's going to actually be.
And here at the wingtip, we see a large camera array, which is traded out for guns on some of the more combat-oriented ships.
Yes, the Mako and the Sen have cameras and a camera on the Mako and the and sensors on the Sen for science.
And the cool hat trick of this ship is when it is in its flight configuration, the wings rotate to be vertical while the hull maintains this horizontal configuration. So it's kind of like Slave 1 in a way, I think, but
Yeah, a little bit.
you can see the interiors are largely the same, except for this half of the room does change a little bit. And the Tana, you do get a 1 extra hard point, or actually, I guess it's 2 because you have each wingtip. This is the Sen, which is the sciencey ship.
Yeah, the Tana can hold 6 guns. If you remove the larger guns and you put
You can
double
do these ball
turrets.
turrets, huh?
Yeah, and you can do that. You have to size them down a little bit, but you can substitute those larger guns for 2 smaller guns each, and that's actually the best configuration that it has right now for DPS.
Yeah. Then the core, you miss out on some of the amenities. You no longer have a bed, but you do have a little bit of cargo space. So great ship for doing box missions in, doing some light combat. Pretty wide variety of things that you can do in that. In a similar vein to the Mustang, you can do basically all the same things in a core, a little better, but you just can't sleep, which at the moment, not a huge loss, because sleeping in ships is still kind of a risky gamble, doesn't always work.
Yeah, right now, right now, the let's see, this is yeah, right now it doesn't really matter that much to whether you have a bed or not. Personally, I think that the Avenger Titan is the superior ship to the Mako for a starter ship. And
Yeah.
they're at about the same price. So of the 2, that's the one that I would recommend. However, if you're looking at this ship and you're just like, holy cow, I love how wacky and cool this thing looks, especially when we take it out and we start doing the transformations. If you just fall in love with it, by all means, yeah, go for it. It's a cool ship. The Tana has a very, very small amount of cargo space. You can use it for box missions and stuff like that. The Mako has an okay amount of cargo space for a starter ship. It bills itself as a light freighter, but it's really more of an all-purpose vessel that happens to carry a little bit of freight.
Yeah. And then in this room, we've got the Freelancer series. So we've got the Freelancer Classic, which has 66 SCU of cargo, I want to say.
Oh, sorry, the Freelancer Max?
No, just the normal freelancer.
Normal freelancer. Yeah, I think it's got like 60 SCU of cargo space.
Okay, and the max is double that. And
Yeah, the max is an enormous amount of cargo space.
Yeah, so I used to have a max until this morning. I no longer have a max because I traded it in for something.
Cool. What did you trade it in for, man?
I don't want to give it away yet.
All right. All right, you're going to leave us in suspense on that one.
Yeah, I am. I'm going to leave you in some suspense. It is not available in game, so that somewhat narrows it down to about half of the options.
Yeah, well, probably about a third to 40%.
I am realizing now, though, I've never actually seen a freelancer Dur in person.
Yeah, it's the exploration version. The cool thing about the freelancer Dur is that it has the endurance for really long runs in space. It can make fuel for itself.
Okay.
It's supposed to be able to make fuel for itself. I'm not sure exactly how that's going to work, whether it just like processes hydrogen in the atmosphere for hydrogen fuel, you need to pick up quantum fuel somewhere else, or if you can purchase quantanium and it'll turn that into fuel, or find some raw quantanium and it'll turn that into quantum fuel. I don't know. But the promise is that it'll be able to make its own fuel for long trips, and that's really not worth anything right now and not fully implemented.
Yeah. It is a weird looking ship too. It
is.
kind of looks like I don't want to be too mean because I know someone probably spent a lot of time designing this, but it kind of looks like the ships I would design as like a 10-year-old, where it's like more engines, more better.
Yeah. It's got fuel tanks, it's got engines, there's a pickle where you can, where it's got beds inside.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And let's see, this one over here, this one's got to be the MISC, right? This is our missile boat. And the cool thing about this one is huge amount of missiles.
5 as well, by the way. The Freelancer Miss just swaps out some of the cargo space for a ton more missiles. And so it's a missile boat.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, missiles are not really all that powerful right now compared to what they could be. So it's far, far, far from being the meta fighter, but it is kind of a fun ship to go out and blow stuff up in.
Yeah, and you definitely run into them quite often in the bounty hunting missions, and they do take a punch.
Yep, it's a fairly tanky ship. It's and the Freelancer Miss is probably a bit more maneuverable than the other Freelancers. I hope it is. Because they really do suffer in the maneuverability department.
Yeah. So let's see. All right, I've got the downstairs to check out still, and then we'll move on to the RSI hall. I caught myself looking for the auroras, and then I realized, oh nope, I'm not there yet.
Yeah. So you're probably in the Zenith Hall.
Yeah. And the Razor is kind of an interesting thing for me because you see all these MISC ships, bulbous, curvy, and then you have the MISC Razor. And it does not at all look like those ships.
Nope. They got a different design guy that day.
Yeah. It's like they hired someone from Ferrari And he was drawing this in the background without anyone knowing. And he turns it into the boss, and the boss happens to like it, so they make it. And it just does not look at all like anything else that they make. But the Razor is a very nimble racing interceptor racing ship. You can use it for some light combat, but you're going to be prioritizing your agility and speed over your durability.
Yeah, it is a racer, and if you want to turn that racer into an interceptor or a fighter ship, you can do that. It's an extremely light fighter. It is extremely agile. If you love being the best pilot in the world and getting behind your enemies and just evading all of their shots, it's pretty good at all of that.
Yeah.
If you love being in a fighter ship and taking a few hits while trading bigger hits and blowing them up first that way, you're going to be disappointed. It does not do that.
Yeah. Here we've got the Endeavor, which is still a long ways down the pipeline, but it is marketed as a very highly modular ship. So you can just slap things in and out of the side. It can be turned into a refinery. It can be turned into a hospital, cargo carrier, passenger carrier. It can do everything, depending on what modules you have installed.
Galaxy, I guess, right?
In a way, it probably does have more immediate utility compared to something like the RSI Galaxy because it can accept multiple modules at once.
It's a bigger ship.
But it is a much bigger ship, and with that comes its own downsides, right?
Yeah.
Here we've got, I want to say this is the Expanse, right? Yes. So this is a dedicated refinery ship. So these are the same saddlebags you'd see on a Prospector, and that should give you some sense of scale. The idea with this one is this will enable you to go deeper into space, have a bunch of Prospectors deliver their cargo to this, and then you can do some Quantanium mining without so much of a time crunch to get back to a station. This can also help you simplify your direct-to-consumer pipeline so that you can maximize profits. If you're doing the refinery process, you don't have to pay a refinery to do it. So pretty interesting ship. Still a long ways out, unfortunately.
Yep.
Genesis Starliner, which is a big plane in space.
Yeah.
Or no, sorry, Misk Odyssey. Totally wrong.
Oh.
Oops. Survey distant frontiers and explore the furthest reaches of space with the Misk Odyssey, the most advanced and complete exploration ship available to civilians. Designed to be supremely self-sufficient, the Odyssey comes with an onboard refinery with built-in mining tech, expansive capacity for supplies, and a hangar capable of housing a small ship, along with comprehensive, comfortable accommodations for a crew of 7. So, deep space exploration. To go further than no man has gone before and where there are no gas stations.
Yep, absolutely.
And let's see. Here we have a nice look at the Hull C. So this is 2 steps up from the Hull A that we saw upstairs.
It's not even close to the biggest of all of the hull.
No, and that's the thing. Like, you look at this and it looks big, but it'll be small compared to the Hull E.
Yeah, I think this one will probably be a competitor to the C2. Maybe have a bit more cargo space than the C2, but probably not that much different.
Yeah.
For a Caterpillar.
And there's quite a few trade-offs with flying something in the Hull series. You are a dedicated cargo ship, and with that comes some inherent added efficiency for doing cargo running. But the trade-off is you are significantly more exposed, and you can imagine once we have things like tractor beams in-game where you can just steal packages off of a ship, these things are going to be pirate targets galore.
On the other hand, if a pirate targets you, they might just shoot off a bunch of cargo and leave the rest of your ship alone, because they can't possibly hope to pocket all of that cargo.
Yeah, there you go.
Unless they're in a really big ship themselves. But you know, if there's just like a couple of cutlasses or something picking up some cargo, they're gonna take off maybe one of those wings, but they're not gonna take all of it. They can't.
So it has the same defense strategy as a sea cucumber, is what you're saying.
Go ahead and take your bites. just leave me the rest.
Yeah. All right, let's see. I just want to make sure I didn't miss anything, but I think that is everything for the misc hull. Yep. All right, on to the really cool ships. RSI.
Yeah.
Unless we want...
We gotta at least show people the Reliant.
Well, I showed them the Reliant. I can pull it out.
Yeah, you gotta pull it out to do the transformation. You can't do a transformation in that hull.
Yeah. Well, once we got all the ships rented, I'll give the Reliant its time in the sun. Let's see. My character is thirsty.
All right.
Hi. Let me know if there's anything I can help you with.
Here we go. My character is more talented at drinking water and walking than I am in real life. Let's see. Let's see. What's the hotkey to drop something?
What, you're just gonna litter?
I can't. I usually try and put it in the trash can, but lately it hasn't been working out for me.
Oh.
Let's see. All aboard.
All right.
Apex Hall.
Apex Hall. I'm wearing clothes today.
Yeah, I see that. I'm happy you're wearing clothes.
I mean, not a flight suit. Yeah.
Ah, okay. Thank you for clarifying.
All right, constellations here in the main hall with the Mantis and the Scorpius.
Yes. So I think anyone who knows anything about Star Citizen has probably seen pictures of the constellation. I think this is the ship that gets a lot of us hooked on the game.
It is a cool looking ship.
It comes in 4 flavors. You got the Taurus, which is a cargo variant, the Phoenix, which is a luxury variant, the Andromeda, which is an explorer, and the Aquila. No, sorry, I think I got that wrong. The Andromeda is this one, this angular one, and it is more combat oriented, I would say. Where the Aquila is exploration.
I think so. Yeah.
Out of all of them, the cockpit, you'll notice, is the same on all of them except the Aquila. The Aquila has arguably the best cockpit because it doesn't have some obstructive bars that we'll be looking at in a minute. Let's see, I want to hop on the Taurus. The Taurus is a little different in its frame compared to the other ones. It gets a little longer in order to grant it the increased cargo capacity that it has, and its cargo bed, like on the other constellations, drops down to the floor, which I think is kind of cool. It makes loading vehicles onto this a little easier than it otherwise would be. Let's see. There we go. Close cargo bay.
Okay.
And when we were checking out the Kruger Intergalactic Stump Fighters, those mate with the Constellation series in a compartment here in the back. I don't know which one is the one that doesn't have one. It might be the Taurus. Yes.
I think it might be the Taurus.
Yeah, so the Taurus has additional cargo back here.
Oh.
But we'll see
Cargo.
on the other ones that we look at, you can put a snub fighter in it. For not being a missile boat, Constellations have lots and lots of missiles.
Yeah, they've got tons of missiles. I think they've got like 48 or something. It's quite a few.
It's really kind of insane. Okay, so if I get in the pilot seat, we can see the biggest sin about the Constellation design, and that is these two horizontal bars right in your view. You can see my reticle is just barely sitting underneath the bar, so you can imagine anything you're targeting suddenly becomes very hard to actually see. And the Aquila is slightly better, but unfortunately not by much. Now if we go back down, the Andromeda will be largely the same as the Taurus, at least the front section. The part that will be different is the back section will have that snub fighter. Let's see. Oh my gosh. I've got this, I've got the bottle in my hand, so I can't open my Moby glass. I really need to know how to drop things now. Drop item. Oh, it's not bound to anything. Let's bind it to P? No, not P. Apostrophe. All right. Dang it. Okay, that's not working.
You can't use a personal inner thought?
Let's try that. Let's see. Player. Yeah, it's... The only option I get is inspect.
Huh. That's weird.
Oh, here we go. Inventory menu. Save the day. Alright, let's try that one more time. I want to rent the Taurus. Here we go. Alright. So, we gotta check out the Phoenix. The Phoenix is the most unique of the Constellation series.
Yes.
Going up. The Phoenix is the luxury variant.
And I recommend getting back out here on the outside.
Yeah.
You're already in it, Jeff.
Yeah, I'm already in it.
You can see the snub fighter really clearly from outside. It's got the Archimedes by default. The others have the Merlin.
Okay. Yeah, I will for sure take a look at that. So the front half of the ship is all of your functional parts. So you've got your pilots, your gunners, habitations for them. So when you step further back, that suddenly things take on a different tone. We have our first hab here on the side. You can see it's a lot more cozy with much softer looking blankets and a fish tank. And then we have a couple seats, which I can only imagine have built-in massage functions on them. A cool little glass table. And if you watch any of the ISC episodes or Inside Star Citizen, you should recognize this bar because it is Jared's new studio for recording. It does have a hot tub in theory, but it is not yet implemented. The open button does not actually open the hot tub. And hot tubs in space are kind of an interesting concept. I know we saw them before on things like the 890 and other luxury ships, but keeping water from sloshing around is a really complex artificial gravity problem. Here we've got the captain's quarters, which is big enough for twos, for presumably his significant other. It is obscured from one side, so it's kind of one-way glass, which I think is kind of cool.
I don't know if that's actually the captain's quarters or if it's supposed to be like a VIP quarters, but because there's like 4 beds in the crew area. I guess maybe it is the captain's quarters and there's an attendant, a spot for an attendant in the crew quarters. I don't know.
Okay. If we move further back, we can see the top of the Archimedes.
And you can enter it, but you can't undock with this one.
No. No, they won't let you get away with that, unfortunately. As much fun as that would be, this ship is actually small enough that you could actually do some maneuvers in this big expo hall. And let's see. Okay, you've got the
hole in the floor.
Yep. All right, we're taking the direct route. So it does have a cargo hold. It's stripped down compared to the other constellations because it does have the luxury floor just above us, but it can still carry some cargo.
Let's see, where is the... There it is. Open cargo bay.
Yes.
So you can still put in small vehicles as long as they're not too tall.
Yeah. I don't think the Ursa rover will fit at that point, right?
Yeah, I doubt it. I think that would be too tall.
So, like Vader was saying earlier before, you can see the Archimedes very clearly here. Yeah. It's just kind of stuck to the bottom of the ship. But I think the integration that it has is a really cool feature and a huge selling point for a constellation. Moving on to, let's check out the other Connie series. We'll check out the inside of the Aquila, if only to show off the cockpit. And then the Andromeda, nothing's too different about that, so I think we might just skip that one.
Yeah, the Andromeda's basically got the same thing as the Taurus inside.
Yeah.
And this has a Merlin instead of an Archimedes on the inside.
Oh, sorry, I couldn't see it. with the desync and everything, I'm having a hard time keeping track of you.
Yeah, that's fine. We got desync. I do like this airlock elevator.
Yeah, it makes sense because you don't want to depressurize the cabin every time you open the elevator. So you can see the bars are slightly improved on the Aquila, but really not by much. You still have this bar that goes right across the reticle. So I think the Constellation is probably due for a future redesign at some point. I hope that that is something that they consider changing, because that would be a huge quality of life change to all the Constellation owners out there. And their newer designs for the RSI ships would seem to suggest that it's also not a necessary component to have those bars there. Oh, got caught by the ladder. All right. Let's see. Make sure I rent the Andromeda.
Now, the
Okay.
Constellations, they're all gunships. Even the Phoenix, which is the least gunshipy of them all, is still a pretty serviceable gunship.
Yeah, I want to
It's
say
got-
they're size 5s. Is that right?
I don't remember if they're size 5s or gimbal size 4s by default, but it's got 4 big energy weapons, energy repeaters, and you can do a lot of damage. You can destroy a lot of bad guys in one pass with those repeaters.
And then in addition to that, it does have a turret top and bottom.
Yeah,
So it
top
has
and bottom
really
front
nice
turret.
coverage.
Yeah, the coverage is so-so. It could be a lot better if the turrets were further back, but then they'd have to be in the middle of the cargo space, and that would take up cargo space.
Yeah.
So they're not going to do that.
And I do think probably one of the biggest challenges with being a Connie pilot is actually the landing. It's very front heavy. And if you're not throttling up or pitching up when you land, you're going to bury the nose just about every time.
Yeah. So I've rented the Mantis. I've rented the Scorpius.
So the Mantis is a pretty cool ship. This is a quantum interdictor ship, so this can pull ships out of quantum, which is a very unique function. No other ship can do it.
Oh, no, there's one other ship.
Oh, there is?
The Cutlass Blue.
Oh, that's right.
Cutlass Blue can do the same thing. But those are the only two.
Compared to the other RSI ships that we've been looking at so far, the RSI Mantis has excellent visibility. Almost no obstructions and very nice viewport, top and bottom. The glass on this is nearly perfect.
Yeah, they fired whoever did the struts for this ship.
Yeah. You do have a bed. You can imagine you're going to be waiting a lot, probably, if you're just sitting along hyperspace lanes doing your piracy, though they market this more to law enforcement. You could also use it for more nefarious means. So you've got a bed to pass the time.
And not much else.
And yeah, not much else. Looks like it comes with FL-33 cannons by default. They're either the 22s or the 33s. Not sure. It looked like...
It looked like a 33.
Yeah.
It looks like a size 3 gun, doesn't it?
Yeah. And then, last but not least on this floor, my favorite fighter, the RSI Scorpius, which I don't need to bother renting because I own one.
Yeah.
So, comes default with 4 size 2 gimbaled repeaters. You can trade those out for 4 fixed size 3 guns, which gives you the same firepower as a Saber, with the addition of a turret on top. And being that it is a turret, can deal significantly more DPS because of its capacitor size.
It's another Saber.
Yeah. So it's pretty insane.
Right.
Basically a hammerhead turret on top of a Saber.
Kinda, yeah.
And its hat trick is it does an amazing transformation into an X-Wing. if you've been watching any of my videos for any length of time, you will have seen that many, many times. Every time I pull this thing out, I just ogle at that transformation. It is the coolest thing ever.
Yeah, it's hard to beat the X-Wing.
Oh yeah. And then we've got the bottom floor.
Even if they had to file off some of the serial numbers that said X-Wing.
Yeah. Well, and they have a orange and white paint job that you can get for the Scorpius, which is about as close as you can get to Luke Skywalker's Red 5 without getting sued.
Yep.
And it's
I'm
chef's
sure that's
kiss.
what
It's
the
beautiful.
intention was, and it does it great.
Yes. Ursa Rover, one of the first ground vehicles to be implemented. This is a 6-wheeled rover for science, and also it's pretty well defended for a vehicle this size. Unfortunately, ground vehicles are kind of a tough selling point at the moment because there's not a whole lot of utility to ground vehicles at the moment. But these are great for storming a bunker and doing some mercenary missions that way. These will get you in close so that you can not take all the turret fire in your ship.
Yeah, and you could probably blow up the turrets with one of these so that whoever's with you can land close by
Yeah.
and pick you up.
Nothing on this side. So then if we go to the hologram room.
Yeah. You got the Apollo triage on this side.
So, hospital ship. And this will be helping you get back up and running on a biological level.
Mm-hmm.
The legendary Apollo triage from Robert Space Industries is the gold standard in medevac and rapid emergency response vehicles. Updated to support regeneration technology, the Apollo has a long history providing critical aid to the Empire and beyond for well over 2 centuries. So as we know from current medical gameplay, not every bed is created equal, and you will need a tier 1 bed for doing regeneration and healing all the more serious injuries. The Apollo can handle that. So
I believe that's going to be the smallest ship that has a such a high tier bed.
Yeah, and that's really the big selling point. Is this is a dedicated medical ship. With that, it comes with a few perks that you can't get in anything else this size.
Yep. It is specifically a medevac.
Yeah. So if your body's seen better days, the Apollo can fix you up.
Once that gets in, I'm sure it'll be a favorite of a lot of people who like to do bunker runs.
Oh yeah. Oh, for sure. And this is the...
Polaris.
Don't tell me. Oh, I was going to guess. I was going to guess Polaris. Torpedo boat, right?
Yes.
The Polaris is a nimble Corvette-class capital ship that packs a powerful punch with a full armament of turrets and torpedoes intended for use as both a naval patrol ship and to serve as the flagship of militia operations. Polaris has the capacity to perform search and rescue operations, light strike missions, and general security patrols. The Polaris includes the facilities to repair, rearm, and refuel a single fighter, light bomber, or support ship.
Yeah, so it has anti-fighter turrets. It's got tons of torpedoes. It's got room for one support ship that it or one fighter ship that it can support. It's supposed to be like a small-time flagship, sort of an all-around, does everything you'd want a small warship to do kind of warship. It doesn't need a large supporting fleet, but it can do well with supporting fighters, stuff like that.
Yeah. So pretty cool ship. Still quite a ways out. Over here we do have... Let's see. I don't want to show that one just yet. So over here we've got the Perseus.
Yeah.
And if the Polaris is a torpedo boat, the Perseus is a gunboat.
Yes.
So it kind of takes a different approach to war fighting. You can see that massive manned turret on the front there. It's got, likewise, other turrets around its hull. And I believe this one is meant for ramming as well. Let's see.
Yeah.
When RSI set out to make the definitive modern statement in persuasive prevention, that's an interesting way of saying warfighting, they looked into their own past to the historic gunships designated Perseus. Capable of shredding sub-capital class Goliaths, the mere presence of a Perseus gunship in a blockade or patrol squad is enough to make your most aggressive enemies think twice before engaging, just like its vintage namesake.
Yeah. Now the Perseus is intended to take on larger ships than itself, or assist in taking down larger ships than itself. So it's really best in a fleet. You're not going to be, taking down fighters with those size 7 cannons. You're not even going to be able to point them at a fighter.
Yeah, you can imagine that turret's going to take quite a while to actually rotate around towards its target.
But anything that's like a C2 size or larger is not going to have a good time if it tries to stand up to that kind of firepower.
Yeah.
And I imagine that a fight between this and an Idris would be a lot of fun to watch.
Oh yeah. Can hardly wait. Once that thing gets in game, we're going to see all kinds of fleet battles popping up. But of course, speaking about fleets, we do have a new addition to the Odd Job Entertainment fleet, and that is a RSI Galaxy.
Nice!
Yeah. So Schlag was nice enough to take some time out of his day to help me do the upgrade all the way up to this Drake Cutter to an RSI Galaxy.
Very nice.
And not as warfighting dedicated as the other ships we just looked at. But what this excels in is modularity.
Huh.
And it's interesting because people were talking about this as being a Carrack killer. I don't think that that's quite accurate. The Carrack killer, the Carrack is a ship that can do a little bit of everything. And because it can do a little bit of everything it does, it makes it a very powerful ship overall.
Yeah, a pretty fair amount of everything. Really?
Yeah. I mean, it has large cargo capacity, does have a medical bay, which can handle regeneration at the moment. It has drones. It can do, just a little bit of everything.
And it's meant for extreme long distance exploration, right? And when you're out, far from civilization, you're going to need some place to do your medical work on yourself. You're going to need a lot of supplies for a journey like that. So it's going to need to hold a lot of cargo. You might get threatened, so you need lots of guns. So it needs to be able to do everything. Pretty competent.
And in the same vein, the Galaxy can't do everything at the same time, but it can do those individual components better than the Carrack can. So I don't think it's a Carrack killer. I don't think that they're necessarily competing for the same space. But what the Galaxy can be is it can be a amazing hospital ship. It has a med bay module with a tier 1 bed, 2 tier 2 beds, and 3 tier 3 beds. So 6 total. So this would be a great ship to have on the back lines of a fleet, repairing your soldiers, getting them back into fighting form. It can also have a cargo module that will add an additional 512 SCU on top of its 64, bringing it up to 576 SCU of cargo, which is about 100 more than the Carrack. So it does do cargo capacity better than the Carrack.
Right.
And it can also be a refinery.
Cool.
And it's a little confusing, the refinery. It's either a third of an expanse or 2 expanses, depending on how you interpret the information. It has 2 separate refinery pipelines, and we don't know if that means that it's 2 expanses or 2 of the 6 lines that the expanse has.
Right.
So we do need a little bit more clarification there, but considering that the Carrack can't do that, it does have that advantage over the Carrack as well. But again, it can't do all of those at the same time. You're going to have to prepare ahead of time for your mission before setting out.
So as long as you have a base to come back to, it can do any one thing better than the Carrack can do that thing, just about.
Exactly. You're not going to be going into the far reaches of space like the Carrack, but as long as you have the support, you can do great things in a galaxy. And then the other advantage that it does have is it seems like it has a slightly larger hangar compared to a Carrack. It's listed as an XS, which should be able to carry, if the older documents that we have to go off of are still relevant, it should be able to carry something like a Prospector, which is a really interesting value proposition when you consider that refinery module.
Yeah, if it can carry a Prospector and have a refinery module that can hold one Prospector's worth, that could be really pretty cool.
That would be a very interesting money-making chain.
Yeah.
On the flip side, if it can carry a Prospector, it may be able to carry a Scorpius.
Yes. Because I think a Scorpius is pretty close to the same size as a Prospector.
And so if you had the medical bay on this and a Scorpius, suddenly you have turned your hospital ship into a warfighter.
Yeah. Yep.
And the cargo bay does have built-in tractor beams, so once those are implemented, this should have an advantage over ships that do not have tractor beams in being able to load faster.
In that case, it seems like it would be a pretty good pirate vessel.
Oh, yeah.
If you could carry a fighter like the Scorpius and also have its own guns and a cargo vessel with tractor beams, that could be a really good pirate vessel.
Yeah. So there's still a lot up in the air, and this is, of course, all speculation. But if the information we have is accurate, there is a lot of interesting possibilities with a RSI Galaxy.
It does look like a mini Star Destroyer.
And that's probably one of the coolest things about this ship, is it is a space Dorito.
Yep.
We can see suggested in the hologram how amazing that would look if they gave it a orangish red paint job.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a small Star Destroyer. It's a really cool ship. And it is currently a budget Carrack as well. Because the Carrack is the loaner for the RSI Galaxy. So if you do purchase an RSI Galaxy, you get a $600 ship as a loaner for your $400 ship.
That's nice.
That is an interesting value proposition. I never thought I'd say that getting a $400 ship is a bargain, but when they are putting the Carrack as its loaner, it does kind of push it into that realm.
They are definitely adding value with that.
Oh, yeah. And since we do have an RSI Galaxy on lockdown now, and we have the loaner as a consequence, the USS Oddjob will now survive patch wipes.
Yay!
So once 3.18 hits and we can go explore all the new mechanics that are introduced there, we'll still have the USS Oddjob as a home base to come back to.
4.0 hits and we start exploring Pyro. We'll be able to do it in a Carrack.
Yeah.
Which sounds like a great position to be in.
Oh, yeah. Definitely going to be well equipped compared to our other fellow citizens. So yeah, Oddjob Entertainment is sitting pretty right now.
Yeah.
Let's see. My character is again thirsty. Let's see. You didn't want to equip the bottle in the inventory, so I guess we'll just buy another one. Oh, okay, now it's in my hands.
Yeah, there's definitely a bit of delay here on the server side. For some reason, everyone wants to come to this planet on the server.
Yeah, who knows why, right? I mean, it's not like anything cool's going on.
Wait, what's going on?
IAE? Maybe you've heard of it?
Oh yeah, there's
Oh,
that.
oh
yeah.
that old thing.
We got a
Yeah.
bunch of ships to look at for free.
I know, right?
It's a pretty humble event, you know. It's
Yeah.
it's understated.
That's what it is. Oh hey, I left the party from my other group here, so I am ready to join up.
Shall I send you an invite?
Yes, please. I'll join with you.
Okay, there you go.
And hold the stream as well. Thank
Yes. Got to get those watch hours in.
you. Hold up. Did you join my server?
Did
Or
we?
did we just get lucky? Because I see your party markers, so I think I'm gonna catch up.
Oh, really?
Oh,
Oh,
Yeah.
I joined on Lands of Vader, but that is
Oh.
convenient.
yeah, we did not join on you. Oh no, I joined on you.
No.
earlier.
No. Let
And
the
then he
magic
joined on
continue.
me.
No, don't ruin the magic of the moment. Do it.
It was
It is
completely by
possible.
coincidence. We could not have planned it better.
Yes. I just have to warn you about this server. I landed at the spaceport, and some monster has thrown picos in the trash cans, and they're squeaking in anger. So be careful.
Oh no.
Oh,
Oh
it'd be
shoot!
great.
We haven't checked out the side halls, have we?
No, there's one side hall at least. Come
Yeah,
on,
we-
man, you gotta see the aurora.
I know. Gotta check out
And
the
second
auroras.
mantis. And the second mantis in the halls. It's very important.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and the second mantis.
Which I feel like someone who is curating this event is racking their brain like, I've got this big space in the middle of this expo floor. What can I put here? Click, drag, drop.
They could have put a galaxy hologram at like massive size that you could walk through and look at it. That would be cool.
That would be pretty cool.
Yeah, they typically don't do that with the holograms. They like to keep them in the hologram room. But that would be cool.
So,
Or-
I don't know if
or
you knew
honestly,
this,
they could have
Vader,
put the
but
Scorpius back here. That would have been a draw.
so I don't know if you knew this, but the auroras all have names.
They do.
So this one over here is Ellen.
Uh huh.
This one here is Mary.
Mary, the
Yep.
MR. Okay,
Yep.
yeah, Mary. Ellen.
This
the
is
LM.
Alex.
Alex, yeah. She's a beaut. She's got leather seats.
Indeed, yep. I guess we should show off that part, right? I mean, premium feature and all that.
Yeah.
Alex takes very good care of himself, slicks his hair back. A little bit awkward to climb into,
Yep. You just squeeze past it into the seat.
but pretty decent starter ships. As we talked about with Consolidated Outland, probably devalued in favor of the Mustang Alpha, but still a very good option.
Yeah, before they added the cargo functionality to the Mustang Alpha, this was the ship that I recommended as the starter.
Yeah,
It's a classic.
It is a classic.
and it does have kind of a hot rod look to it.
I wasn't
Over
gonna
on
say
the
anything about the looks.
sorry.
I wasn't going to say anything about the looks.
So somebody took a photo of an aurora, right? And they took it so they made the wings folded out like the Scorpius, and that changed the ship 100% for the better.
Yeah, and you know, when I first saw this, that was what I thought that these wings would do. Ollie was talking about this in his video, but I always thought that they would fold out, and then when they just stick to the side, I was like, okay. This is
Yeah.
Esther.
Esther?
Yeah, that one's kind of a stretch.
Yes, yes.
What
And is this Callie?
Yes, actually, this is Callie.
Great. The CL.
So now I can only hope that my streaming career takes off very suddenly, and those become the de facto names of the Aurora series.
If it doesn't
could-
happen, I'm disappointed. Let's do this.
That could be my contribution to Star Citizen.
We need the Aurora now.
All right, so now we have for sure covered all of RSI, right?
I think so.
Okay.
I think it was just this hall and the main one.
Yes. Okay. So we are good.
Yeah.
So now it turns out my character is actually hungry. I don't think that it was thirst that I was looking at before, so I need to find him some food. Which has been a theme for me this week as well. I've been doing a new diet at the recommendation of my doctor, trying to bulk up. And he's got me doing 150 grams of protein every day.
Oh yeah.
That,
Tell me about that. That's basically a chicken.
yeah, it's a whole Costco chicken per day.
Not like a Cornish game hen either.
No. So, squeezing in 150 grams of protein is pretty tough. I feel like I'm just feeding this endless abyss of food.
That's gotta be pretty rough.
Yeah. Well, certainly gets that way if you're not doing some fiber supplements as well. If you know what I mean. But I can almost wolf down burritos as fast as my character now.
Nice.
That's the dream.
Yeah. Who'd have thought? You just have to be so desperate for protein that you just inhale them. Well,
No,
I
it's-
am excited to get into... Oh, sorry. What were you saying, Schlag?
No. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I was just going to say I am excited to run over to my RSI Scorpius. Let's see. Schlag is 15k out.
Yeah, I gotta get healed up. I got a little injured on the last thing I was doing.
Ah,
It involved drunken knife fights and things like that. Nothing major.
ah.
Why were you knife
The-
fighting
the-
with drunks?
Who are you talking to, Vader? This is Schlag.
They don't have anything. Come on, if you're
Well,
gonna
they
knife
have
fight with
knives.
somebody.
Oh, look, it's Zin from Board Gamers channel. It's the same armor she wears.
Oh yeah, it does look like.
Maybe it is.
Wouldn't that be funny? We just stumbled onto Board Gamers server.
That would
Why
be
not?
funny. That would definitely be funny.
Say
Good
hello,
break
Zin.
there.
Hello, Zin.
Yeah. Do Proxcom. See if they say anything.
All right, let's test this out. Well, first off, can you hear me, Vader, in game if I'm using my proximity button?
I don't know.
All right,
You can
let's
say that in the girl voice.
say hello, Zin.
Come on.
Ah.
AFK. Nothing.
No, they just ran away now.
Oh god, they know who I am. Ah, jeez. They know.
They've been caught.
Quick, hide. Hide in the holograms.
Yeah. All right, let's see. So if I go to the commons first, I can get some guns for my ship because I think it has the. can't remember what I have it equipped with.
So I think there are the Quarrelers. They have Omniskis. They have Panthers. They got Badgers. They got it all.
Oh yeah, center mass.
Yeah, center mass is great.
I just can't remember, did I upgrade the weapons to size 3 or not?
Tobin Expo Center would like to invite everyone to join in.
Suppose
Okay,
you'll find
it
out.
looks like I did. So I've got Panthers on it.
Panthers are good guns.
Yes. I wish there were a directory that just easily showed the appearance of ship weapons, like in a list form. Like, I know I can get on Star Citizen Wiki and click through entries individually, but that's kind of tedious. I'd like a list where I can just...
Are you looking for the ones that look like the ones on Luke's X-wing?
Yeah, like I just like to have an
Quarrelers.
easier time of coordinating them.
The Quarrelers.
Quarrelers? Those
Yeah.
are cannons, right?
Yeah, they're cannons, but
They are cannons.
if you want to fit the theme, it's more than worthy.
All right. Well, let's go get a couple Quarrelers then.
I know it's not perfectly meta.
Yeah. Well, we are going after NPC targets, so we should be
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Now, if only I could get 3 guns that look like R2-D2, or size 3 guns that look like R2-D2 for the turret.
You just unequip the guns completely. See? And then it's just a little blob on top of the ship.
Ah, okay.
Might even yell
So
at
you just
me.
take
Yeah,
the
see?
disadvantage.
Yeah, and then Lance can just look around and have no guns, but it's like R2 looking around. It's fine.
There you go. That does sound like an interesting video idea. I think we should do that at some point.
Did you see the Star Citizen rendition of New Hope's first opening scenes?
Was that from Eradicator?
I don't know who it was from. I just saw it. So somebody did tried to do a re-rendition of the opening boarding scene of A New Hope, but with Star Citizen assets.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, we'll have to share it with you at some point.
Yeah. Let's see. Quarrelers. I also do like the FL-33s just because they look like chocolate bars to me.
Oh my gosh. They do look like chocolate bars, don't they?
And FL-33s are forever ruined for him now.
Sorry.
You're gonna walk out of center mass hungry every time now.
Mm-hmm. Okay, am I just blind? Am I just missing them?
That's the Quarreler.
Do they have the FL-33s here? I know they got some light strike cannons and stuff, but I don't know about...
It is a laser cannon.
Yeah, they've got them on display here.
Yep.
They're
Oh,
just to my right at the moment.
You should be able to buy it off the screen then, and typing in the search bar doesn't work.
There's a search bar?
Yeah. So on the
Oh!
upper-
Search bar now.
Yeah, you can narrow it down by name. Type
Yep.
it in.
Oh!
Type in a Q.
Well, there you
Quarreler
go.
cannon.
Alright, so I'll pick up 4 of those. And then I'll also get my chocolate bar guns. Oh, they only have the FL-22 here, it looks like. Alright, I'll hold off on that then. Yeah, okay, so this is the FL-22 then. What's this one? Sucker Punch? That's the Quarreler. Okay. It's
Is it
crazy
though?
to me to see all these weapon models and then look at the insane level of detail on each and every one.
Uh,
Oh yeah.
We are so spoiled in Star Citizen in some ways. Not in every way, but in some ways.
not in terms of things coming out quickly.
No.
In terms of them coming out well, yeah.
Yeah. All right. So slap on some quarrelers.
In terms of deadlines, we have no deadlines.
Yeah.
Deal.
All right. Shall we go kill some things?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's go kill some things.
All right. So I'm thinking, since Lance has his constellation that he's acquired in game, Schlag, do you want to co-pilot with me in the Scorpius?
Yeah, I can do that.
And then between us three flying these ships, there's nothing we can't kill.
No, that's true. Though it would take a while to take down a hammerhead. We could do it.
Yep.
Oh. So I was looking into the hangar size, Schlag, and
Yeah.
we were talking about it earlier, you and I in Discord. It's listed as XS. And then
Yeah.
someone shared a document in the thread for the RSI Galaxy where apparently they referenced ships that are all quantified as XS.
Huh?
And on that list was the Prospector.
That's pretty interesting. That changes things quite a lot with that ship.
It
Especially when you got an
does.
onboard refinery.
Yeah. So you could do direct-to-consumer refining of Quantanium with your onboard prospector, send it off to do its thing, bring it back, do the refinery process on the Galaxy.
Yep.
But then if it can fit a prospector, it can probably fit a Scorpius too.
That's a good question.
So there's still a lot up in the air, and things may change as we get closer to its eventual real release date. But at the moment, it seems like the Galaxy could be a really fun multi-crew option, just because of all the things that it can do.
So I wonder if the only limitation with having that refinery module is your overall storage once you've finished refining the materials, right?
Yeah. Well, and
So
that's another thing that's up in the air, because it says that it has 2 pipelines for refining, and as of yet, we are not totally sure. Does that mean that it has the equivalent of 2 expanses or a third of an expanse?
So the Expanse apparently can do 6 simultaneous jobs. So I think it's just it can do Expanse, but not quite as good.
Okay.
Maybe I misread that. To be honest, I didn't really look that much into the Expanse. Just not my style.
Oh. Our bodies are stuck together. Okay.
No.
Oh my.
Oh no.
Let's see if this monster still left his Picos up there in the trash can. Yep, they're there. Okay. So go silent and start listening when you get to the final staircase up to the here you go.
Okay.
Yep.
Now I'm caught up to you guys.
Okay. Just listen for the Picos, you'll hear it.
Oh no.
Yeah, the monsters.
What kind of monster would throw so
Okay.
many Picos in the trash?
I know. Like, I'm surprised the server hasn't 30k'd out of principle, like, in sympathy with Picos.
Oh my gosh, that is hilarious.
Yep, there's more over here.
I can't seem to get him out.
No, he's stuck. Somebody got him in there good.
Yeah.
Look at the Pico rescue squadron here. Look at them try. Oh, and if you notice, the hologram is gone. The lady of New Babbage has run off.
She probably can't handle all the squeaking.
She feels bad for the Picos.
Look at this NPC over here just cowering and cringing.
They know the wrath of the Pico gods will come down upon this for this person's evils done towards the Picos.
Oh man, okay, that's a screenshot right there.
But yeah, the hologram has run off. Nobody knows where. There's Picos in the trash cans. Like this server is doomed.
That is the funniest thing.
Welcome to the ASOC vehicle retrieval system.
All right, let's see. We need to give the Reliant a taste of glory. So I'll claim that
Your vehicle has been moved to our storage facility.
because I didn't do Misc Day yesterday. So I think I'll just take this one up in the air, show its transformation, come back,
Okay.
and then I'll hop into the Scorpius.
Oh, did they rescue one of the Picos?
So, some dude is walking around with them. I don't know if he's rescuing them or if he's making the problem worse.
All right, well, we may as well just contribute.
All right, so here we've got the Reliant Core, which is the cargo and combat focused one. Combat focus in the sense that it does have the extra hard points for doing combat, but none of the Reliants are necessarily combat ships except the Tana.
Anna.
Yeah.
Anna has missiles.
Yeah.
It's a small missile boat with 6 guns, up to 6 guns. 4 by default, but
The Reliant does have one advantage over the Scorpius in that it has 4 MFDs visible to me. Let's see.
Your vehicle has been moved to our storage.
oh, what's going on? My connection is no good right now.
No bueno?
Yeah. I lost connection to your YouTube video, which is weird.
Oh, that is weird. Alright, there we go. So that is the final form of a Reliant. And I do need to correct myself a little bit here. I said that the cockpit stays horizontal. That is a lie.
Yep. Yeah, it's a pretty nifty transformation.
Yeah, pretty cool. Let's see, did the stream go down then, or?
No, it came back.
Okay, all right.
It's showing you retrieving your vehicle right now.
Okay, so it probably just got a little delayed then. Its maneuvering characteristics does seem to change pretty dramatically when you put the gear back down.
Please proceed
Yeah.
to signed landing.
Which makes sense because that basically kind of forces it into VTOL mode. That's the Reliant series. Cool ships, interesting starter ships, options.
Smallest
Still-
science vessel that you can get is the Reliant Sen, and the only news vehicle that you can get, or media vehicle that's available, is the Reliant Mako.
Yeah. So they do have a pretty wide range of utility. Starter ship wise, I think I'd have to agree with Vader. I'd still pick an Avenger over this. But it does have style that the Avenger doesn't quite have. So, and if that particular style appeals to you, then there you go.
You are clear.
All right.
Have you already landed?
Yes. Yeah, so I am coming back to the terminal. And then I'm going to spawn the Scorpius.
I'm still trying to say the Picos.
Welcome to the ASOP Vehicle Retrieval System. Welcome to the ASOP Vehicle Retrieval System.
Let's see. So store that one. And retrieve the
Vehicle
Scorpius.
selected. Stand by.
Located in the plaza, the factory line has all of Microtech's latest offerings.
Welcome to the ASOP Vehicle Retrieval System.
Remember, your belongings belong to you.
Uh-oh.
Keep a careful watch.
It's taking a minute.
Oh, sorry.
Please visit us again. Goodbye.
Be sure to explore all New Babbage has to offer. Whether it's the latest
It's making me nervous.
technology
What's it
or
doing?
the beauty of our award-winning gardens, this city of tomorrow has a lot going on today. Microtech.
I also can't back out of the ASOP terminals, which is kind of annoying.
Nope, you're stuck. Stuck till it wakes up.
Knows the server might be crashing soon.
Can you check BWin? Do you know how to do that?
Ewan is at 0.4 right now.
Yeah, we might be crashing.
I think the Pico's Wrath is finally.
I seem to have a problem backing out.
Please visit us again. Goodbye.
Okay, it did spawn it in Hangar 5.
All right.
Let's see, were you able to get on the elevator with... Okay.
I teleported, you know.
Yeah, the elevators, they constantly make me feel bad because I feel like I'm leaving you behind. But it's because I see you, like, running into the door, so it's like, they'll probably spawn in the elevator.
Yeah, he. What's funny is when the server catches up and the person bounces into you and shoves you into the wall. That's pretty good.
Yeah. So we've got the Red 5 paint job on. So this is as
Best
close to the
Wonder 5
Disney experience as you can get without getting sued.
We're paying Disney a whole lot of money.
Yeah.
Neither of which we want to do.
No way. On the order of scale that they would be taking money, the $1 billion in funding we have would suddenly seem very small.
Yeah.
Biggest downside to the Scorpius, in my experience, is the fact that the pilot and the co-pilot can't get in at the same time. And so, as you can see, their slog had to wait until my animation had completely finished before he was able to get in.
Yeah, it seems like a poor design on a fighter that might need to scramble really fast.
Yeah. And it's easily remedied if they just add another ladder on the other side.
Yeah.
But it does have an interesting... Well, it has two interesting transformation mechanics. Schlag just demonstrated one of them there. The turret can move from the top of the ship down to the rear bottom. It's not as useful in the rear bottom. It suffers from some pretty poor visibility. But if you have an angry Kane chasing you, maybe that would be a time when you want to pull that hat trick out. But of course, the real trick of this ship is this one. And every time it gets to me.
Locking S-foils in attack position there.
Oh yeah. I am a child at heart, and every time I see that, it is amazing.
Yeah.
I am totally dry on fuel. I'm gonna take off to Port Tressler though. I think odds of me getting a pad in a short amount of time are better there, and it's easier to deploy from there. And Vader, I imagine, is close behind, pulling out the Connie.
Yeah, I've got the Constellation.
So let's see. I'm going to accept the call to arms mission.
We can probably do some high threat missions.
Let's see. We've got a. Let's see. This one's going to be really fast. It's a low threat service beacon. I'm going to go ahead and just take that one on real quick, just because they don't pop up very often, and I want to get the.
You want to rank up?
Yeah, the reputation for it.
Yeah, good call.
Okay, so let's see. I need to make sure I'm tracking that, I suppose. Okay, and this one's right around Clio, so this one should be pretty fast to get to. I should have enough fuel for this, but not much else.
I figured out the trick to getting a mission to give you a marker when it's not your mission.
Oh, really?
Yeah. If you're tracking a different mission when the contract is shared with you, and then you track the one that you just got, it'll give you the little marker.
Okay. So, could you do that with just the call to arms then?
Yep, that's what I did. I was tracking the call to arms, and now I've got a respond to beacon. Oh, looks like you're already en route.
Oh yeah. Yeah, with this ship we can be first responders to combat missions.
And with this ship, I can be a second responder. I'll get there. I will get there. I might not get there until after you've already blown up the bad guys.
Probably
But
not. Let's see. Yeah, he's popped.
Okay, there you go.
So, all right. On back to Port Tressler to get me some fuel.
Let's see.
You can try as well as one of the landing pads at one of the research outposts on the moon. So Port Tressler would be weird view.
I'm going to share a moderate threat service beacon with you.
Okay.
Okay.
And if you're getting fuel, you're like, I should be able to do this on my own.
Okay. Man, if we're actually getting service beacons to spawn, that is actually really nice. We might be able to do a bunch of those.
Yeah, those are fun. I don't think any of us have ranked up quite to where they're giving you really powerful threats, but I have seen some high threat.
We've got
Done a
Schlag
couple of
with
the
us.
critical
You
threats.
forget.
Yeah.
All right.
Done a couple of the critical threats.
Oh, good.
The only problem is the Idris does a really good job of killing the person you're trying to protect, so you can usually stay alive. But
The customer service isn't as good in those missions, is what you're saying.
it's a little harder because usually it is an Idris and a couple of hammerheads that you're fighting.
Got more bad guys on my scope.
There you go. Desync.
Let's see, what's the hotkey for stagger?
Thanks.
Well, that was it. Okay.
I don't know, actually. I've always just set mine to the semicolon key.
Okay, now close enough to hold for a landing.
Please proceed to assigned landing lane.
I don't know if it was you, Schlag, or someone else that told me this, but I did figure out a fix for the Scorpius only having 2 guns active. You just have to put in and out the landing gear a couple times. And each time you do, it'll randomize, and eventually you'll get all 4 to work again.
This doesn't work too. There's some pads here to our starboard side as well. Those are the open landing pads. You don't have to request a dock.
Okay.
Those ones do work quite a lot.
I won't get a impounded for landing there?
No, the open landing pads are quick landing goes.
Okay. I did not know that.
Yep.
Landing complete. Have a pleasant stay.
But if this works, no problem.
Alright, yeah. Huh. No dice.
You are clear to launch.
They're very
I gotta
antsy
wait
about
for-
closing those doors.
Open back up, come on. So if I just land on one of the open pads, I might have a...
Yeah. There's usually a chance. So go to the left a little bit. Let's see if I can see it through all the lag. So, yeah, these 2 pads here, they don't have doors behind them.
Okay.
You just land one of those and see if that does it.
Thank you. And please visit
Yeah.
again.
Okay. Let's give that a shot.
Come on.
No.
Glad they added lights to the station.
Yeah, you can
No-
actually see the
luck?
pad. No dice.
No luck.
Totally dark, and
Hmm.
from 10 or 15 or 20 kilometers away, you couldn't even see them.
Alright, so one more choice is we go to one of the mining outposts. Or
Yeah.
research station. See if they got a pad there that'll do it. And if not, oh well.
Usually they do.
Usually.
Let's see. Moon, easy to get to at the moment. Okay. Just gotta whip around the station here. Calliope ought to have something for me, right?
You would hope.
All right. I got sucked into quantum travel with you.
Woo. Always cool when features work as intended.
Even stopped. Yeah, it did work as intended.
As Lance continues on and lawn darts into the moon.
Oh, wouldn't
Would
that be
not
terrible?
be the first time.
The quantum slingshot.
Yeah. Let's see. I don't see Lance though.
He's off to our left-hand side.
Ah, okay.
Let's see, Shubin Processing Facility, one of those.
Yeah.
Probably not processing. Those have. What else do we have? Do we have a research outpost?
Rayari Kaltag.
Mining Facility, SMC A6, over here.
And
Looking
Rayari
at
also
a
has
call
that.
tag here below.
Yeah.
Kaltag.
And can you imagine when eventually we have the ability to just all spawn or do a quantum jump as a giant fleet? And you just see a bunch of Persei drop out of quantum space with the fighter escort. Man, that would be so cool. Oh, I've got my speed dialed down. That's why I'm going slow.
You find stagger key?
I did not.
Well, that's okay, because it would also cycle through your weapons 1, 2, 3, forward, clockwise or counterclockwise pattern. Too bad it can't do like the 2x2 shots that some of the X-Wings did.
Yeah.
That would be cool.
Okay. I cannot see much. Atmosphere is very dark.
Yep. We got 2 paths to choose from here, and if that doesn't do it, I'm sorry.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I still have a little bit of quantum fuel left, so as long as we stay in system, we might be okay.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Nice. Alright.
Let me do it.
Apparently
Yeah, I don't know why, but the mining facilities seem to have a much better success rate of actually servicing vehicles.
Well, I'd
Guys,
give them a 5-star rating.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see what shenanigans we can get ourselves into. I've got moderate threat. Do you have anything more challenging, Schlag?
No, I'm not getting service beacons to pop up.
Okay. Well, I'll accept this moderate threat and share it then.
All
Gotcha.
towers, I'm under attack and
Let's see.
need help.
Conveniently, these are all in our airspace, too. So we really lucked out. Let's see. Need to get around the planet somehow.
I'm warping to Cleo.
That might be the fastest route. Where was it?
There it is. Where's that mic? Let's see.
That's Microtech. Theo
Oh,
Utropy.
there we go.
All right, let me know when you're about to warp in.
Okay, I am spooling up to go there right now.
All right,
Going?
on my way.
I did the old kill power halfway, so I had a straight shot to it.
For sure.
Oh, thank God somebody came. My ship's completely offline. Can you cover me while I fix it?
Taking a moment to load in, aren't they?
Yeah. We got here at the same time.
I don't have targets yet.
Yeah, they're not.
I don't either.
Okay, you gotta power down, power up real quick.
Yeah.
Okay, alright. We got targets now.
You got targets? Alright, I'm gonna have to power down. Power up my... Oh, no, I can't. Okay,
Oh my gosh.
I'll just try my best.
I'm getting scanned by the police.
No. Like,
There we go.
can we do this some other time, officer?
Did you notice? We're in the middle of a firefight.
It's like that scene in Jack Reacher where he's trying to get them to chase after the guy who's actually committing crimes. Probably not being an amazing
Gladius
pilot right
not-
now.
That's alright. I can't target the Gladius. I'm getting that bug on the turret. I'm gonna hop out and back of the turret.
Oh,
Okay. Negative. I only have one thing I can shoot. That's the guy that Lance is fighting right now.
ah.
I can only see I can only see Sergio.
There we go.
I thought I was a goner.
Oh.
Thanks.
Okay, alright, there we go. Let's see. Let's take on some bigger fish.
I'm not seeing any service beacons, but of course we've got ERTs and HRTs and VHRTs in the bounty hunter section.
And so VHRT, sound good?
Sounds good. Sounds good.
Okay, taking a minute to accept. There we go. Sharing.
Contract shared.
Received.
Track. Where is the...
Can you jump to me?
Yeah.
Let's see. I don't have a direct route to it. Looks like.
Calliope. Okay. Or Calliope.
So I'm going to accept the HRT and see if that gives a faster option. Oh, this one. Wait, hasn't accepted it yet. Never mind.
Okay, but before we do that, I need you to do something.
Okay.
Before we go anywhere,
Okay.
I need to get close to your ship so that you can do that transformation again, and I can show your ship off to anybody watching my stream.
Okay. All right.
Let's see, we got. Bad angles. Yeah, this is better. All right, go ahead and hit that transformation. Oh, boom. Okay, it was a little jerky the first time. Let's see if it's smoother the second time. Oh yeah, that's exactly what it's supposed to look like.
And Schlog's moving the turret around.
Cool.
I do wish that you could do the retract deploy of the turret while in the remote turret, not from the control console.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So
Quality.
the HRT does give us a spot that's much closer to the bounty, so let's take that one on.
All right.
So I'll wait for you to spool up, Vader. I'm going to abandon the VHRT one so that we can reshuffle that one.
Did you share the HRT?
I thought I did, but I probably neglected to.
I might have missed it because
Okay,
I
sharing.
had my. Okay. Accept. Accepted. Track.
I forgot I can't accept from the remote turret. I have to get back in the seat.
Okay, never mind. My trick does not seem to work. I guess it's just a bug with the bounty hunter missions and not with the service beacon missions.
Okay.
Because those showed up just fine for me,
Yeah.
but I don't know where this one is.
It is on Microtech.
Microtech. All right.
So you're 3/4 spooled now. And now you're
Always.
spooled?
Yep.
So cool.
Yeah. Okay, now there's a bunch of waypoints on Microtech.
Yes. So it should be nearest to, come on, Rayari Deltana Research Outpost.
Rayari Deltana Research Outpost. All right.
So it looks like when you do those jumps, it keeps your relative position to each other pretty well.
Pretty well, yeah. Let's see. Are you pointed at the
Yes.
mission? Okay, I got it.
Okay. Okay, maybe it doesn't actually put us that close, but it is closer than the other HRT.
Okay.
So we do still have
Are we within 200 kilometers?
224.
Okay.
So it's off in this direction.
I'll just follow you.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not going to outpace you.
The Scorpius has got some nice handling and atmosphere. I'll give it that.
Oh yeah.
Compared to a Constellation, I'm sure it handles extremely well.
Oh yeah.
Let's see.
Hey, but compared to a Corsair,
Compared to a Corsair, the Constellation handles pretty well.
yeah, in atmosphere too.
From a certain
Yeah.
point of view.
Well, from my point of view, the Jedi are.
Then you are lost. In fact, it looks like we lost you in those clouds back there.
No, I'm just 10 kilometers behind you, that's all.
10 and growing.
And growing.
That's the Constellation.
I'm
thing.
only going 430, 450. Like. Okay, got a little boost back.
Something cool. I think another cool thing to do would be to show just how much functionality the Scorpius has in terms of the external paneling and components and storage and gun racks and stuff like it has. Because this is where we can expect a lot of other fighters to end up in the future.
That is true. Scorpius is right now as close to gold standard as you can get.
Yes. Oh, hey,
Sort
okay.
of the actual physicalized components, it's pretty much there.
Yeah. It does miss out on some of the animation quality that the Gladius has. I think that's the only separating factor at this point. But this scene here, I know Luke didn't fly his X-wing in the Battle of Hoth, but he did leave in his X-wing in the Battle of
Exactly,
Hoth.
they left his X-Wing behind.
He could have flown in his X-Wing. The Battle of Hoth could have been a lot shorter because proton torpedoes, I understand, make short work of those AT-ATs.
Yeah, why did they use the snow speeders? Were they just like literally the only thing that could possibly fly for that long in the cold atmosphere?
I think there was a
I think
limitation of the hardware they had on hand. Like, it was just a base that didn't have real starfighters. Maybe it was too cold to keep them there long term, so they didn't have them or something like that.
Yeah,
Well, we all know because the snow speeders are pretty cool, so, you know.
Snow speeders are way cool, made for a great action scene.
And
My,
Rule of
first
Cool is
action
definitely
figure toys.
the law in Star Wars.
Yep.
Though I do think that there is a couple lines where they say that they're having a hard time adjusting the ships to the cold. And so I think the snow speeders were implied to be a bit better suited to the cold, and maybe that's why they didn't do an X-Wing fleet.
Yeah.
But, alright.
Hydraulics kept
Hear me
on
out.
freezing.
Hear me out. This is the same kind of cold they were able to stick ground troops out in trenches for hours waiting for these things to walk up to them.
Oh, hush.
Well, you didn't see the force field generated by that little furry hood that they had?
Yeah. Oh, you know what? No, they had electrically heated gloves and coats. Gotcha.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
it is science fiction. I mean, surely they have stuff like that, right? Just like they have wireless headsets.
Yes, real cool.
But the one thing that is certainly not disputed is the snow speeder scene, the original one, is so much cooler than whatever they were trying to do at the end of episode 8 with the salt planet.
Yeah.
That one really bugged me.
It lacked a lot of tension and everything like that.
Yeah.
Like I think the thing with the
I felt like the biggest problem with it, though, is that it directly lent itself to being compared to the better scene.
Yeah. And
Right?
you're not going to improve on the original trilogy. Like, those are classics.
they could have come up with something completely different.
Yeah, and anything completely different would have been better, because we wouldn't be comparing it to what we already have.
Yeah. And, you know, one of my critiques is I don't feel like there is really a strong connection to the original trilogy and the events that happened in them. Like, it pays homage, or tries to anyways, in the way that they recreate very familiar action sequences.
1, 2, 3. 3 targets. What do we got?
Which would have been cool in a non-Star Wars movie, actually, I think.
Yeah, but then,
Right.
like,
Honestly,
it's
like,
like
it
they
could've been-
forget that we've already killed 2 Death Stars, right? And so
Right.
it's like, you know, really, what's a third at this point?
Except for Han Solo, who is literally tired of Death Stars in the movie.
Yeah.
It's like his character is like, oh, okay, this is an old contrived plot point. What's its weakness? We know it's gonna have one.
Yeah.
And if he's not excited about it, you know we're not.
Okay, gotta disengage.
Okay. Go ahead and pull up just slightly. There you go. There you go. I'm on him.
See, this is the real beauty of having a ship with turrets on it. He can keep fire on it while I give our shields a chance to repair. And now it's gone.
Did any of my missiles connect?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just if you believe they did, they did.
All right.
Oh no, they're still floating out there.
Well, I shot 6 of them, so I mean, there's
Oh,
there's
true.
some.
I only see 2, so maybe 2, maybe 4 hit.
Yeah. Shoot, Vader, I totally forgot you were behind us. we just took all the fun for ourselves, didn't we?
No worries,
Did you,
no worries.
did you notice his slick move? He let us do all the legwork and just quantum to us.
Yeah.
Pretty smart. I like it.
That was pretty clever.
Yeah.
Let's see. Okay, we desperately need to get a mission that we can all directly jump to.
An ERT, maybe?
Let's take on an ERT. Why not, right? Except I don't see one. Oh, wait. No, there is one. Okay. Rec site on Microtech. Let's
Oh,
hope
that's
that
gonna
it-
be a hike. Let me see here. Where is this? Oh yeah, I got a rec site as well. Never mind. I guess we're all just doing another long haul.
Let's see. Am I not tracking it? Okay, I'm not seeing it. Oh, no, it's like directly below us. Yeah, so it's the same location.
Oh, it's the same rec site that we were just at?
Yeah. Yeah, it's just 15 kilometers over this way.
Oh.
Well,
there we go.
Let's go there together. Good plan, guys.
Yeah, this is how you do mission chaining. This
There it
is
is.
A tutorial.
Okay, got a Valkyrie, Hammerhead, and what's the third one? Valkyrie. 2 Valkyries and a Hammerhead. That's gonna be a lot of damage.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah, I'm gonna focus on the Valkyries first.
Yeah. Okay, so I've got Kelsey Danquist as our first target.
Okay. On it. Oh, I see. They're getting protection from the Hammerhead. Smart. There's some missiles. That's a hit. Good kill.
Oh,
Let's see, who's next?
I got the Valkyrie on her tail. I'm on Hoppenhaber.
Yeah, got
Ampa?
him.
Ampa?
Tom? Just a weird way to spell it, maybe?
Yes. Alright, last target hammerhead. Turret's reloading. Reloaded. And I love the noise the hammerhead makes. Looks like we got a friendly on the scope.
That would be me.
No, it's second blue target.
Recharging shields.
No, we got a gladiator on a scope. Heads up, we got a player around. Top gun needs recharge. Ah, forget there's only one gun on this thing.
Oh, are you down a gun?
No, I said top gun needs recharge, but I'm not. I'm really the only gun on this is a gunner. No, in the ordinary we do basic gunnery training, and we'll take out hammerheads, and they got gunners. Got to make call outs and stuff like that, focus fire and such. So, just used to that. It is.
That's how you pop a hammerhead. I love flying this ship. It's so much fun.
So, you want to hear some good news about
Sure.
it? I was reading back in the Q&A about it a long time ago, right?
Yeah.
So apparently with the computer blades on this, you can get a server blade that will slave the turret to the pilot to fire
Right.
only in the forward firing direction. So
Right.
someday you will have all 8 guns at your disposal on a forward firing
Please,
configuration.
somebody help! These outlaws came
Because
out
it's a
knocking
remote
open
turret.
fire.
Yeah, which is just an insane amount of firepower. 4 size
Yeah.
or 8 size 3s. Whew.
It'll be fun. But, you know, I don't know, some people might complain about it, but I figure, right? It does lock the turret in a forward firing position when you don't have a gunner. So there's still an advantage to having the gunner if somebody flanks you.
Yeah.
But when you don't, say, have any friends online at the time, you can go out and do a couple of ERTs and stuff, and, you know, you got 8 Panthers at your, or in your case, Corallers, you know, whatever you want.
Yeah, and I mean the challenge is still, I mean, like if you're going up against a fully crewed Scorpius, like you're gonna have a bad time. You know, so is it really that much difference if you have access to all those guns?
Nope, it just reduces the need to always have a second pilot to get the most out of it.
Yeah.
Or at least more out of it, right? Now, the thing with the Scorpius too, right, is it has a very difficult time accelerating up to speed. It doesn't have a very good top speed.
I need some help mopping up these
So the
bastards.
reason that, well, a couple of reasons. The okay, this is a beacon.
Yeah.
I bet this Delta's a bet. Yep, there he is. But a couple of reasons the Hurricane is considered better is because it has better acceleration. It can then control the distances at which the fight is being had, versus Scorpius can't choose when to disengage or engage.
Okay.
Oops.
And there's Lance just casually hanging around Microtech. Fine.
Let's see. What did we just accept?
No, I'm sorry.
VHRT?
That was an HRT that we abandoned earlier.
Probably
Okay.
mission.
It was too far away.
All right.
I wanted to accept. Okay, here I've got a. It's just low threat.
And then I'm spooling up an ERT.
Oh, nice.
So, since you're, I'll let you take care of the low threat, and then we'll just wait outside the engagement zone for the ERT.
Yeah, pick off some of the smaller ones if you can.
Yeah, because I
At least
mean,
leave
you'll
camera.
probably have that LRT done before we can even get there.
Probably. And then I'll be able to jump to you.
Oh, thank God
Hopefully.
somebody came. My ship's completely offline. Can you cover me while I fix it? Down. I thought I was a goner.
Okay.
Thanks.
Yeah, that one's done.
Boy, did you pull the trigger once or twice with that one?
Well, I had to. It was only one pull, but I did have to hold the button down for 3 or 4 seconds. I don't know what I was shooting at, but it could have been an Aurora, it could have been a Mustang. It's hard to say.
Can you identify it from the scrap of heap left behind, or is it unrecognizable at this point?
Look, I've moved on already. Okay, this is in the past. It looks like you're not far from Shipping Processing Facility SPMC 14.
No, that's exactly where it is.
Oh,
That
great.
makes sense.
So we do have a direct route this time.
Yeah.
The challenging thing here will be that the atmosphere is hard to see in, and we're low to the planetary surface. So I
what
see
works
a
really-
warden.
Yeah, what works really well with this, okay, is get their attention when they start coming towards its backup at max speed. Well, at least enough to attract them away from the surface a little bit.
Pull them away from the surface.
Yeah,
Well, if I buzz above them, that'll pull them up, right?
that
There's
will
the
do that
hammerhead.
as well. Yep. You just you're gonna have to turn on them, but
A warden and another warden.
Yeah, so 2 wardens
this-
and a hammerhead. So far, no canes, which I'm happy about.
everybody's happy. Okay, wardens are on us. That should be good. Don't pull too far away, otherwise they'll lose interest. Let's see. Okay, he's moving in on us at about 400 meters a second. Looks like he's locking on Lance.
Oh,
That's got it. Next one's 2.4 kilometers below us.
there is a lot of firepower in the Connie. It is. I mean, you compare the. We always compare the turrets to like hammerhead turrets, but the Connie is literally a hammerhead turret on the front. It's 4 rhinos.
Yeah,
Yep,
that's
and
pretty insane.
You can actually get 2 size 5s fixed. You're really
Size
into that.
5s, if you're willing to put fixed on here, which I believe is not nearly as good for computer bounties because, I mean, you don't need the extra firepower really, and my goodness, does the tracking help when you are this slow?
Yeah. Recharging. And just as reference, I'm seeing hilltops probably 3 kilometers below us.
Okay. Now, I'm trying to just do this spinning top above him. And not really wanting to go below him. It'll give me more
Recharging?
space. Looks like we successfully baited him out of the atmosphere.
Boom.
They just don't stand a chance, do they?
Yeah. Yeah, this is a lot of firepower.
See, so you've got what, 4 size 5s plus what else going in
Four
your favor?
rhinos. Plus, I've got tons of missiles, and I've got 2. I think they're size 4s actually.
Okay.
4 rhinos. I can't remember if that's size 4 or size 5. And I've got 2 turrets with 2 size 2s each. They're not nearly as good as the turret you've got, but there's 2 of them.
Yeah. I mean, when anytime you've got a fully crewed multi-crew ship like that, serious force to be reckoned with. I mean, even small turrets are nothing to scoff at by any means.
Even a cutlass with 2 people in it is way more deadly than a cutlass with 1 person in it.
Oh yeah, those capacitors are a huge advantage.
Yep.
So let's see. I just shared an ERT.
Did you?
On Microtech. It does have what looks like to be a pretty close jump point.
I don't think I noticed when you shared it.
Okay, sharing it again.
Sent. ERT. Microtech rec site. Okay.
So I'm going to be taking us to a data center that looks to be nearby.
Okay.
We're excited for Best in Show paints tomorrow. Get your nice crimson metallic Scorpios.
Oh, I am very excited.
Bring out your Sith Scorpius. Dark side Scorpius. That'll be worth it.
Well, it'll pair well with the Corsair at that point, right? The skin
That's
that
right.
you have for yours.
Oh, by the way, somebody shared a picture side by side with the 18 van with that color scheme.
With the what, man?
18 van.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Hang on.
Oh yeah.
Let me find it. You're gonna have to see it because it's beautiful.
Shoot,
About it
how does
till I
their
saw
theme go?
Carol.
Bum, ba-dum, bum, bum, bum,
Yep.
bum.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna find it for sure.
All right, this was a good drop. It put us rather close.
Let us know we're close to engaging. Otherwise, I'm gonna hunt for the 18 team.
Okay, we are
TMG.
150 away.
150? Okay.
Yeah.
Plenty of time.
Yeah, so you jump to there, and then you do a U-turn and just follow me backwards.
Yeah, you don't really seem to need any help with the Vanguards and the Valkyries.
No, those go down so quickly, especially with Schlag on the turret here. I mean, it's almost comical.
But
What
when it
a
comes to the hammerheads, it's nice to have the extra firepower.
oh, definitely. And like you're really coming in clutch there. I've taken down hammerheads alone in the Scorpius, and it takes long time, especially when you don't have your turret active.
Yeah.
So all the added firepower from you two is making these super fast.
Yeah. By yourself in any ship, it is a chore unless you're in a bomber with size 9 torpedoes.
Yeah.
Or Corsair,
Yeah, maybe a Corsair.
Yeah.
because you can usually blow up the poor little side mobs there with about 2 or 3 shots.
Is it really that fast?
If it's a hurricane and stuff, they fly straight at you. Yeah, they're gone. That's 4
Great.
size 5. Those are anti-capital large ship weapons.
I think back to that night when we did use the Corsair, and that sounds about right, but it's still just kind of unreal to think about in my head. It's just so much firepower.
Yeah,
No
never
more
fly straight at you.
forward-facing firepower.
Yeah.
Itty bitty living space.
Actually, that's kind of
Exactly.
true. It is kind of true.
Yeah, I feel like the Corsair is kind of the Drake version of the Constellation, where it's a civilian gunship that also has some cargo space, but man, does it have a lot of firepower in forward-facing
Yep.
area.
Yeah,
And of course, it's Drake, so they made it have more firepower than the original.
Oh
that
yeah.
they were
more firepower in the sense.
modeling
Yep.
it after. Yeah, bigger guns,
Bigger guns, less armor, less maneuverability.
a lot less armor, less maneuverability.
It's if you don't finish them off or disable them heavily in the first pass, you're in for a hard fight. Man, where is
All they have to do is survive that first volley, and suddenly the tables turn pretty heavily.
it? Yep. Yeah, you get a Corsair surrounded. It doesn't last. Did you see the test that they did with Corsair versus Constellation, Corsair versus Hammerhead?
Was-
Skunkworks guys?
Is that Citizen something on YouTube, right?
Is it Citizen Kate Will or something like that?
Yeah,
She's with the
Citizen.
Skunkworks board.
Okay. I haven't watched it. I've seen their video pop up in my feed. Is it good?
It is pretty good. So they started off with the fight with Corsair versus Constellation. They tried to launch the snub, but it got damaged and it couldn't launch. So they had one fight with no snub. They did a fight with the snub in the fight. Basically, what they could do is the Corsair could not chase the Constellation. So the Constellation get away, recharging shields, while the snub was sitting there just pecking away at the shields and stopping the recharge. Which is pretty interesting. Like it wasn't doing a ton of damage or anything, but it was just sitting there like going to do a flyby and ding the shield a little bit so it stopped its charge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the Constellation went got back up to full, and it just ended the fight at that point. I haven't seen the newest one. They did one versus Hammerhead fully crewed. All right, I'm back in the gun. I can't find the meme, but I'm gonna find it. You'll love it.
Okay.
My other org, part of the corporation, and we did a Constellations versus Hammerhead fight, where we had a fully crewed
Oh man,
Hammerhead versus an equal number of people, each in a Constellation,
Oh dang.
and the Hammerhead won so handily. It was just humiliating. I was one of the Constellation pilots, and he just like the Hammerhead pilot just danced in and out of our range and took us out one by one. It was.
There you go.
It
And
was
the Hammerhead
wonderful.
has an impressive amount of firepower.
It does. It didn't need to stay in range for very long in order to get the shields down and put some damage down, and it didn't need. And whereas when its shields went down, it just went away and we couldn't follow it without putting ourselves at risk, at
Yeah.
least.
Okay, so let's see. What do we got? Valkyrie,
Back in. Alright.
Warden, Hammerhead.
Okay. I can only see names. So,
Okay.
which
So
one you put up for
Leslie
Valkyrie,
Steele,
maybe?
the Valkyrie. Let's take them out first.
I'm a good 25 clicks behind you,
Okay.
at
We'll
least.
clean up these small potatoes and then leave the feast for you.
Not expecting to see any of them, except for the hammerhead.
A lot of damage in on the valve. He should be going down soon.
There he goes.
Alright. You up on the... There we go. I can't wait for him to upgrade the NP... Oh, the warden's just sitting there. He's broken.
Oh no. That's too bad for him.
Yep. I can't wait for him to update the swarms that come after you, the different bounties. Like, I want to see Scorpiuses, and I want to see cutters, like protecting the low-risk targets and stuff like that.
Yeah.
That would be fun. And more than just hammerheads on extreme risk. Like, maybe an extreme risk has 3 constellations hanging out.
Ah,
You
there
know?
you go. That would be pretty good.
Something that you can consider kind of an equal fight in terms
Or
of...
a retaliator that shoots torpedoes at you.
Yep. And Retaliator's pretty tough. I think it's got the most full hit points in the game. It's 2 sides, 2 shields, but the thing just takes a beating.
And it's got 5 turrets. They're not as big as the hammerhead turrets.
He's taking a dive.
Okay, well, I'm gonna get close. I think I'm gonna get close enough to
It's
put
trying to
some
pull it
hurt
off.
on it before it pops.
He's got
He's
himself
doing the
real.
ultimate strategy.
All right, we're in missile range. There we go.
Look at that backdrop. Ooh, they're sitting here shooting up a hammerhead with these nice mountains in the back. Ooh,
Oh,
that's all but 1 missile, looks like.
Yeah, that
Nice.
was a big, good hit. Let's see, recharging shields.
Down.
There he
Notice, though,
goes.
the Rex has been hanging around a lot longer now. Do you think PES is kind of sneaking its way in now?
Do I think what?
Oh, do you think the persistent entity streaming is starting to come in and hang around a lot more? Because I've noticed, like, Rex tend to hang around a lot.
Yeah, I don't know. It's in theory it should be starting, right?
Yeah. Hey, check that out. There's a little frozen lake to our left hand. Oh, hey, caterpillar wreck.
Yeah. This was supposedly the marker for the mission.
old wreck site where they were spawning. You want to explore it?
Sure,
Let's take a
might
look.
find
I'm
something
happy
good.
to do it. Yeah.
This
Does
would be a
anyone
good
have a-
opportunity to show the all the hidden panels on this ship too.
Does that have a tractor beam?
Nope.
I do not.
Okay.
Sometimes the box has got them, though.
I do have a pistol.
Good. Well, if we have to, if we can find a tractor beam, we can also toss objects into these crypt mines.
Yeah.
I do have a bed gun, so if we have a sacrifice, that also works.
Okay.
All right.
Whew, it is chilly. I get about 23 minutes, 22 and a half.
Perfect. More than enough time.
Let's see. So let's show off the panels first. So if I open this one, we have the radar module. Moving a little further back, we've got the gun rack. So if you're doing some mercenary missions and you need to step out of your ship and deal with some people face to face, you can do that. This should be the avionics, so our flight computer. Let's see. Back here we've got storage. So you do have pretty good size storage for a ship this size. We've got power plant 1. Identical configuration on the other side as well.
The redundancy's good.
Oh yeah, especially when you can do component damage. Life support module.
Why my landing gear to deploy?
And battery, which is empty.
Yeah, no DC power batteries in the game yet. It's just power plants.
Yeah. And this is... looks like the shield generator. And they've gotten a lot better about labeling these things too. Like, you can actually know ahead of time what you're looking at. Instead of just having a bunch of unlabeled boxes. And they do it in a way that's not obstructive too, so, you know, props to them for that. I actually like the way that they do it on the Scorpius.
Like, subtle enough to where you don't notice unless you're looking for it, and when you're looking for it, you're not hunting.
Exactly. Much like the crew of an 890, it's seen when it needs to be.
It's there when you need them, and not seen when you don't.
Yep.
Because that's offensive.
Let's see.
I don't know, this one looks like a dud. This is like the Zeta Prolinate type.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm not really
Like,
seeing
you did a
anything.
Prolinide containers.
I'll still give it a shot, but
Yeah, let's see. Can't get in through that door.
uh-oh.
Yeah, I'm really not seeing anything in here.
Yeah, it's definitely a Zeta Prolinide one.
Oh jeez, this is a trap.
Like laser trap or just a stuck in the geometry kind of trap?
There's a old turret hole here that you can fall into but not get out of.
Uh-oh.
Oh no.
And my guy refused to stop moving. Wait, maybe I can get
Not
inside the
good.
ship.
There anything we can do to help you?
I don't know. Oh, wait, I can just morph through the ship. That worked.
Ah.
You'll never catch me. See if I can find a pathway through a wall, maybe? Nope. Not looking good.
Uh-oh. Might have to do the old seppuku.
Or exit to menu or whatever. Yeah. All right, guys. I'm gonna take off. My wife has let me know that there are some adorable children who need my attention, and
Yeah.
she needs my assistance with them. So I'll be going. Feel free to take the Constellation out for a spin if you like, but the Scorpius is probably the better ship to do what y'all been doing anyway.
Yeah. Well, thanks for hanging out, Vader.
Yeah,
Always a good time having you on stream.
Yeah, a lot of fun. This is Lance Vader signing off. Fly safe.
There we go.
There we go.
Alright, McCool, you might just have to go.
All right. Your sacrifice shall not be in vain.
Yes, because it was necessary that I enter the turret, right?
Yes.
My curiosity got the better of me.
Yep.
Alright. Back it up. Hey, I'll race you back to New Babbage. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I think you're gonna win this one.
Yep. What makes you say that?
I don't know. It's just something I can't quite place.
I gotta find that picture of the Great Corsair because it was amazing.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Share it in the Discord.
Oh yes. As soon as I can locate it.
And truth be told, I think I am reaching the end of my streaming time as well. So I
Oh,
think
yeah.
what I'm gonna do is land at New Babbage, so that I can restock, and then I think I'll do my closing ceremony.
Perfect.
But it looks like you did beat me, Schlag.
Yeah. That's Microtech Medical Services right there for you.
The question is will you be able to survive the elevator?
We're about to find out. First, I gotta get that Corsair move up so you can share it. There. You got it.
And the Scorpius is just a ship that I really enjoy flying.
Yeah.
Just something about it, the maneuverability, speed. It's like the perfect ship.
Firepower. I just, if they could just get rid of that NPCs talking over your targets, it would be perfect.
Yeah. Well, and eventually they'll bring back the building blocks UI for the visor, and we'll have 2 projected MFDs in the top left and right. And once those are there, you know, problem solved. But, well, I guess for the most part, they still have the issue then where, like you say, when they're talking, they override your MFD, which is supremely annoying.
Oh, yes. It is not necessary at all. Like, I think, I don't know, if you want the comms to be up, it would be very cool if it popped up, you can see their faces and stuff like that. Just in that case, right?
Yeah. Or if you could set like a preference and a priority, you know, so like mark comms as like priority 4, and
oh yeah,
self status target status as priority 0, so that priority 4 can never override a priority 0 MFD.
oh yeah.
That would fix it too, because like if it takes over my power triangle for a little bit, I don't mind that nearly as much because I have those key mapped, and so I know what my power triangle would show. I've also gotten used to not seeing it being in a Scorpius.
Yeah. Well, if you get that thing down to muscle memory, it's not so much of a problem. Like you're gonna know very quickly if you don't have your power to full shields or full guns. So it's not too big of a deal.
Yeah.
But I make a lot of decisions based off of where the target is in terms of shielding and whole hit points, whether or not I want to hang in a little bit longer, do an evasive maneuver, that sort of stuff.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, that has been RSI Day. We do, Schlag and I, between us, we have 2 RSI galaxies for the distant future. But for the time being, we do have some Anvil Carracks as a trade. So I guess Schlag technically has 2.
Yeah.
If you want 5% off your order at Monster Tech USA, use code ODDJOB at checkout. I have done coverage for most of IAE 2952, so if you want to check those out, there's a backlog of video for you to check out. I'm going to release a supercut of all the highlights in the next week or so, so keep an eye out for that. If you like this content, like, share, comment, and subscribe. Let me know what you think in the comments, and until next time, this is OddJob.